Hi everybody. Wanted to make a quick video. I just took a really great seminar about the market forecast and what people are saying. So wanted to go over some frequently asked questions that I get and get you some real information with real statistics and real numbers so you can get a grasp on what is happening in this crazy real estate market. So the first question I always get asked is, when do you think that this bubble is going to burst, or when is the market going to crash? Right now in the US, we have more equity than in our homes than we have ever had. And so what that means is that hardly anybody is upside down on their mortgage. So we have 68% of the US households that have 50% more in equity, and 39% of those have 50% or more in equity. So when you think of a housing market crash, there's a couple variables that obviously come into play. Number one is how much equity people have. Number two is inventory. And a housing crash is characterized by losing a third of your equity in your home. So you see all this stuff on media where there's a couple quotes that I had seen, and it was basically a 10-year rally in U.S. house prices could be coming to an end. That was from CNBC, and you see those all over the media. And what I'm here to tell you is that that's really kind of not even a possibility. So a lack of inventory, which we still have nationally, and we are not going to see that satiated for a long time because we have multiple generations coming into the buying market. So when you think of the amount of equity, the lack of inventory, and how that would have to collide to be a perfect storm, it's really impossible to see a crash. Now, will we see dips in the market? Absolutely. That is a normal real estate market. But if, people comparing what they think is going to happen to 2008, 2009, it's virtually impossible when you see the amount of equity that U.S. households have right now. So when will the market crash? We should see things balancing out in about 5 years. So we have gone down, prices have been going up, actual home sales in terms of units have been going down, which lack of inventory, that's to be expected, rates going up, all of that is to be expected. So what we'll probably see is rates should be going down to about 6% by the end of this year and continuing to go down just a little bit to about 5.5% by 2024. So what that is going to allow to happen is create more inventory. And you're like, well, how could that happen? Well, my next question is, when will we see more inventory? So you can imagine if you bought any time between, end of 2009 until rates went up, you're sitting at between a 2.5% and 3.5% rate. Well, if you don't have to move, you don't want to lose that rate. So a lot of people were like, all right, well, we're not really going to do anything. We want to do something, or in the future we want to do something, but we don't want to make a lateral move or move, without, unless they were, job relocation or something like that. They're not going to lose that rate to go to 7%. So as we see rates start to head down, a lot of those people that were on the fence about selling and moving, we're going to see those homes come up for sale. So as that happens, that will create more inventory. But again, when you think of a market crash and when will it be a buyer's market, things like that, we still have the largest number of people coming into the buying market. So we've got multiple generations coming up. We've got new home sales that are finally starting to keep up in terms of new construction. So we're starting to build more houses. So we're creating some influx. But again, that crash has to have more inventory than there is buyers for those house prices to go down. And again, a housing crash is anything at least a third of the value. So I think we'll see things start to even out. Hopefully in about 5 years, we'll see some balancing of the market, which basically puts buyers and sellers on an equal playing field and allows each to negotiate appropriately. So seeing things more, not in favor of one or the other. And is buying now a good idea? Rates are going to go down a little bit. So if you are comparing buying now to renting and you're paying $1,200 a month, let's say $1,000 a month, I mean, that's $12,000 a year that you are automatically just giving to someone else. Whereas you buy a house, yes, you're paying an inflated rate right now and you're paying an inflated price, but still, can you think of how much the market would have to crash and go down in value for it to make sense for you to be losing $12,000 a year? And that's a really cheap rent payment. If you need a 3-bedroom, you're looking at closer to $1,800 or $2,000 a month. So if you balance that out by the interest rate and the housing prices, I mean, losing $30,000 a year, or I'm sorry, in 2 years, that's pretty significant. So, yes, it's a good idea to buy right now. If you were planning to stay in the same area for 3 or more years, it's usually a good idea to buy. And, you know, you can marry the house and date the rate. So, you know, if you have a great lender, like I know Joe Sambear at DART, when rates dip, I know he's calling our customers and saying, hey, the rates took a dip right now, might make sense for you to refinance. So, you know, things like that, and keeping an eye on it and calling me or calling your lender and saying, hey, what do we think? Well, keep an eye on things and just be ready to move and do that refinance. And then what do I do first? And so if you're thinking of buying, if you're thinking of selling, but rates have held you back, the uncertainty of the market has been holding you back. I've been on 2 listing appointments in the last couple of weeks with past clients who are just like, this is something that we would like to do, but we need to know if it makes sense. And in both of their scenarios, it didn't really make sense for, you know, different reasons. But when you are thinking or scrolling Zillow or saying, oh, I want to make a move, or, oh, we'd love to sell, or something like that, it's impossible to make a decision without having a lot of these factors known. And one of the main ones is, how much is your current home worth? Where do you plan on going? What is the new home that you would like? What price point is that going to bring you in? And then balancing all of those variables and allowing those to be known and understood by you can help you make an educated decision. So again, I just wanted to make this video because there's so much misinformation going around and what's going on in the real estate market. I don't have a crystal ball, but looking at facts and real numbers and statistics and historically what the U.S. has done and what the housing market has done, it gives us a real good indication of what we can expect in the next few years. So in terms of experts' opinions, the chief economist of the Mortgage Bankers Association said the forecast for 30-year mortgages is to be closer to 5.5% by the end of the year and drop a bit lower next year. And then Lawrence Young, the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, agrees. He says rates will drop to about 6% by the end of the year and to about 5.6% in 2024. And then the chief economist of Freddie Mac agrees and basically just says, be prepared to jump on a dip in rates. So I think that was all of the information that I wanted to give you. If you have any questions or you are thinking about making a move or unsure of what to do, please feel free to give me a call. You know, you do not have to, I want to be a sounding board for you. I want to be able to troubleshoot some of these ideas, and being in the market for so long and understanding different, you know, things that are going on and what might be a positive for you, what might be a negative for you, that can really help you decipher on what you should do if making a move makes sense. So hope this was helpful. Hope this gave you great information. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm at 616-389-7918. Talk to you soon. Bye.